What is going on, you guys? Let's go ahead and start us off with some deep breaths. I have some notes. I want to start us off with an affirmation as we keep up with those deep breaths. Today, I am one with the living spirit who will do the work through me and for me. I'm going to say that one more time. Maybe even a few times. Today, I am one with the living spirit who will do the work through me and for me. Today, I am one with the living spirit who will do the work through me and for me. Today, I am one with the living spirit who will do the work through me and for me. Collective, I have been trying to make this video. I have been trying to keep up in the last few days, 111. But my body has not been all there. Okay. I believe today, in the last couple days, today has been that day. Today is that day where I feel like, I'm coming back to life again. And this is my third attempt in trying to make this video. This energy, this full moon in Gemini, I felt like I had to gather a lot, along with some major drastic realizations and maybe even revelations. Let's start with a prayer. Father, thank you for the gifts and talents you have given to us. Help us to see the areas where we can rise higher. Help us to sharpen and improve our skills, Heavenly Father. We thank you for giving us favor and causing us to be noticed. We desire to serve diligently with an attitude of excellence so that we can bring you glory in everything that we do. In Jesus' name. Amen. This is about really sitting with our shadow and understanding and identifying the root cause. As the scales even out little by little, what is being removed is the proud, the cunning, the fool, the ignorant. And so as the scales balance out, collective, and I'm following the rhythm here as we go, this is awakening our soul little by little, by and by. And I suppose that this Gemini and full moon in Gemini has been it's pretty crazy. I don't know if I like it, to be honest. There's like a sense of like eeriness that comes with it. There's a lot of negativity. There's been a lot of talking suspiciously, discreetly behind the scenes. There has been a lot of narratives that has been spoken behind the scenes and things that are being exposed that, we already know. Okay, is what I'm getting. Like, we already know this. Our intuition has been speaking to us, and we already know this. But what's happening is that it has now been exposed, and what you're seeing in the physical is now confirming it, whatever it was that your intuition told you about that certain situation, that certain somebody. Your intuition had already told you this way before it was even exposed in the physical. And that's what's happening. It's being exposed in the physical. There has been this level of irritability, frustration, and sensitivity because our shadow is being awakened. I'm following the rhythm here. For some, this is us identifying what is deeply rooted in our shadow and getting to know that. For some, it is your lack of identifying what's been rooted deeply in your shadow that is now exposing, that is now showing. And it's like one had to get triggered. One had to be neglected. One had to be abandoned for them to really realize and to awaken to their shadow. For them to really realize that it is them battling with their own shadow. I like that the light is coming through, because this is exactly what's happening to a lot of us. It's a moment of battling with your own shadow and then you projecting that onto somebody else. It's a season where you have been battling with your own shadow, but the whole time you're thinking you're fine. It's a situation where you felt like you were much in control, but all you were doing was causing destruction. Perhaps this is us addressing the negative that's inside. Just as much as we are also addressing the positive now with this Gemini full moon. What's been happening is we've been addressing the negative. This may not be something that a lot of us are not comfortable with because we've gotten accustomed to addressing only the positive. And by addressing the positive, it meant that you don't have to address the negative because the negative comes with a lot of fixing and repairing. So we don't need to look into it deeper. We can just put it aside. Because perhaps in fixing the negative, it means you would have to go in deeply in your shadow, identifying the destructiveness, the malice, the evilness, the cunning, the proud, the ignorance. It meant that in addressing the negative, you would also have to address your own wrongdoing. In addressing our negativity, it means that we would have to dig deeper, rooted in our shadow. And repairing and in fixing what has been and has been infected, poisoned, with this Gemini full moon, what it's doing is it is in fact revealing the negative, revealing the proud, revealing the ignorance, revealing the fool, revealing the perpetrator, revealing the criminal. this Gemini full moon is revealing and exposing the ones who have been in the wrong. But they have been getting away with the wrong for a very long time. They have been getting away in manipulating. It's like one is going, I wonder how long I can keep up with manipulating these people. I wonder how long I can keep up and manipulating people without them even noticing that I'm manipulating them. But why manipulate? Why manipulate? To get your way. But why? Because it hasn't been your way. Because perhaps one doesn't know their way. And so by manipulating others, they're gaining from that. And who are they manipulating? Who are they manipulating? Okay. There's so much to our behaviors that we have not yet paid attention to that this Gemini full moon has been revealing. And this is all rooted deeply in our shadow. Now it's like that mirror has flipped on you. You, in fact, the person who's been trying to get away with manipulating people, it's like it's not working anymore. It's like it expired. Does that make sense? Someone's lies has now expired. Right, like this is a war between the dark and the light, right? It's the dark versus light. And the people that have been lying, this ongoing cycle of lying that has expired, perhaps it's revealing to everybody, and everyone now can see clearly. For the ones who have been manipulating and going to themselves, how long will I keep up with this, and how long until they notice that I've been manipulating them this whole time? Only to gain for themselves, right? Only to really gain for themselves. They manipulate people to gain for themselves, to absorb the other person's energy and to gain for themselves. It's a means of, I'm gonna move the camera, excuse me guys. It's a means to get into somebody's energy and have access to their energy, because I need something from you. I need something from you, the sun, because I see potential in you and I see something in you that I want. And so by being in your energy, it means I have access to you and I can absorb that so I can use that against you. Now, what this energy is doing is people who's been lying, manipulating, it's like they're coming out of in denial. It's like they're slowly coming out of in denial. and becoming more aware of this. They may not be comfortable and still denying and covering themselves up with a fake smile, putting up a facade. Huh? What? I didn't do that. I never said that. What do you mean? I couldn't say anything like that. I never said that. I didn't do that. But perhaps everybody knows around them that they did because, hey, look, I have a screenshot of the text message you sent me that one time, and you did say that. Hey, look, it's like, excuse me. They don't want me to say for a second. They don't want me to say, hey, look, remember that one time when you said this and you did that, and I never said that. I never did that. What are you talking about? Coming out of in denial and becoming more aware of it. It's like this Gemini full moon is teaching the liar to speak the truth. It's teaching the perpetrator to identify their own shadow. This Gemini full moon is teaching the fool to get serious. It's teaching the proud to be humble. When pride comes, disgraceful follows, but with humility comes wisdom. Proverbs 11, verse 2. I'm following the rhythm here. And so this Gemini full moon is going. And let me tell you, collective, in the last few days, okay, I've been sitting in the room. Okay, I've been sitting in my bedroom. And I've been keeping the blinds open so I can see the entire moon shining through the window. And I'm talking to it. And I'm staring at it, this Gemini full moon. And I'm getting to know it, right? I'm tapping into it. I'm tapping into the energy. I'm using my intuition. And the energy that comes with it was like, it's like, aha, 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 light bulb, light bulb, light bulb, every minute, every second as I'm watching this moon. We don't like to see the negativity that's revealing. But it is, in fact, the negativity that one has to address in order for them to realize how negative it is so that we can fix it. Right? Like the negative has been so negative, like maybe it's time to fix it now. Something like that. Like we always hear people say, just keep positive. Just be positive. Just smile. Just be positive, But as soon as the negativity comes up, our first reaction to it is put it aside. We don't need any more negativity, right? I'm following the rhythm here. This is going somewhere. When we hear somebody say stay positive and just stay positive and be positive, we address it. But when we see negative and there's negativity being thrown around, our first reaction is just put it away. We don't need any more negativity. But what happens if, and this is what the Gemini full moon is saying, what happens if we need to address the negativity? Because in addressing the negativity means we're fixing it, we are repairing it. That in repairing it and in fixing it, we don't have to go back to it again because it has been fixed. So this Gemini full moon is exposing and revealing things that are negative so that we can address it and turn it into positive. But, oh boy, what's been coming up is like more than just a day or 2 or 3 or 4 days of healing. It's like a lifetime of healing, a lifetime of repairing, and a lifetime of fixing. Like for some, intuitively what's coming up for you is like, well, this negativity is going to take a lifetime for one to heal from. It's going to take centuries for them to heal from this. Because what was done is more than one can handle. You know, when I say that this person who's been manipulating, whoever has been manipulating, whoever has been lying, it's been an ongoing thing, and they know they were doing this and they just kept up with it. How long until somebody notices? How long until I can actually, keep doing this? And which is, there's an end to that. There's an expiration date for that. And today is the day that it ends. They can't keep up with the lies anymore. And they're going, why isn't it working anymore? The person who's been manipulating, the master manipulator, is going, wait a minute. I usually say that and it usually works, but why isn't it not working anymore? There goes that negativity that needs to be fixed and that needs to be repaired, right? And so this Gemini full moon is like rebirth. You need to go. We need to shine the light into that thing you're doing that's not working anymore. Because the master manipulator is going, that usually works on people. And I usually have them do and say whatever I want them to say, but why isn't it not working anymore? Oops. Why isn't it not working anymore? As the scales even out little by little, what is being removed is the proud, the cunning, the fool, the ignorance. I suppose sometimes, because, not everyone is, I'm following the rhythm here, not everyone's gonna like this, but like sometimes what needs to happen is you need fixing. It's not the other person that needs fixing. It's you. We like to, I'm following the rhythm. We like to point fingers at people. Well, he did it and she did it, and well, I only did it because he made me do it and she made me do it. And well, I killed that person because they made me mad. And now they're dead. And well, now they're dead. They shouldn't have said those things, and they shouldn't have done those things that made me kill them. Oops. That's something a serial killer would say. I seen this post on TikTok of this lady, and she was on trial, and she was already in that orange uniform, you know, and they sentenced her 25 years, I believe, for running over her boyfriend or something very crucial and big like that. Okay, either she ran somebody over, it was her boyfriend, or she did something horrific. Okay, and they said sentencing her for 25 years, and she replied with, well, if he didn't cheat on me, I wouldn't have done that. Well, if he didn't cheat on me, I wouldn't have done what I did. Something along those lines is what she said. That as soon as they said, I sentenced her 25 years, and she replied, well, if he didn't cheat on me, I wouldn't have done that. I suppose that there comes a time when it is that time to face our own shadow. And this Gemini full moon is going, I caught you. I just caught you. You're a liar. I just caught you. Nobody else saw that, maybe, but I did. There's always that one person who's like super fucking highly intuitive, and they're like, aha! You didn't think nobody would see you, but I caught you, bitch. Now, you wouldn't say that to yourself. If you were the one battling with your own shadow, you wouldn't say those things to yourself. If you are the one battling with your shadow, you are a criminal. You are a perpetrator. You are a serial killer. You are a master manipulator. You are a dictator. You are Hitler. You are Trump. You are all the dictators in the world in history. And you have convinced a whole country and telling them what to do and how to do it, and you've brainwashed people's minds into thinking that what you're saying and what you're doing is right and correct. Because in your mind, you're thinking you're a problem, you're a problem, you're a problem. Okay, a person who is battling with their own shadow, perhaps they're in this mindset of, well, there's something about that person I don't like, so I'm going to go up against that person. And there's something about that person I don't like, so I'm going to go up in that person. When really, it's the mirror. The mirror, okay, let's pretend this is a mirror. And the mirror is facing everyone but the perpetrator. The mirror is facing every single body around the perpetrator but himself. He's not looking at himself as the perpetrator because that mirror is flipped on everybody. You're the problem, you're the problem, you're the problem, you're the problem. Ah! You're the problem. So now, what the perpetrator, the liar, the master manipulator, the dictator, whoever you want to call it, has been projecting their hurt, their pain, whatever it may be, they're projecting onto people because that mirror is flipped. The mirror is a mirror effect thing. That while that mirror is flipped on people, I don't gotta face my shadow. You face my shadow, is what the perpetrator is saying. You face my shadow. Because I don't have to. I don't, in fact, have to. Right? And so, if you've had somebody in your life recently who's been a huge problem, but collective, you're just so kind and you're just so compassionate that even you understand why this person is the way that they are. And you just kind of let them. You let them. But it's gotten to a point where it's been hurting you and it has been taking a toll on your body. So now what you have to do is ignore them. Because by ignoring them means that mirror is not flipped on you anymore. That mirror is flipped on them. Perhaps this is somebody who always goes to you for answers, who always comes to you to get answers from you, to get insights from you. This is somebody who's been literally absorbing your energy so that they can use it and claim it and then maybe even use it against you. You've been this source for them. So they come to you and they ask you and they demand to have an answer from you. They come to you and, sucking the life out of you. You've been that source for them. Right? You've been that source for them. And they've been demanding, they have been trying to rush you. But then what happens if you don't reply to them anymore? What happens if you don't react to them? Because you see, you've been reactive to this person. You've been reactive to this manipulator. You've been reactive to this perpetrator. You've been reactive to this liar. And they think they have some kind of control over your mind, your emotions, your thoughts. They have been taking control over your patterns. They just know it so well. Meticulously, they have been calculating this. In your every move, collective, they know how you move, they know how you speak, in which way you speak, in which way you move. They know it. They've been calculating it. And so what happens if you catch them? They didn't think that you would catch them, but perhaps this whole time you've been watching them. And so what happens then when you are non-reactive? They come to you and then you don't give them a reaction. Now what happens is that mirror is flipped on them. And now when that mirror is flipped on them, now they gotta go and face themselves. That mirror is not flipped on you. You need to take care of me. You need to do this for me. But when you become non-reactive to the perpetrator, that mirror flips back on them. And now they are seeing themselves for who they truly are. Because collective, this whole time, they've been seeing you as the problem. They've been seeing you as the weak one. The one they've been going up against. The one they have secret competition with. The one they thought that you are the one in competition with them. They don't want you to know who you are because they don't want you to be ahead and they don't want you to be better than them. This whole time they've been thinking that they are better than you because that mirror is flipped. I don't got to do the shadow work. You are the shadow work. But collective, this whole time you've been the source to their shadow work. Do you hear me? And so you stop reacting to them and that mirror is flipped back on them. And now they're going, why didn't it work this time? Why am I not getting through to people anymore? Why am I not getting what I want from people? Why am I not getting people to do what I want them to do? Why am I not getting the answer I want from these people anymore? because the people who used to react to the perpetrator has become non-reactive. And being non-reactive means they now have to fix it for their own self. It's not a problem that you were supposed to fix for them, collective. It was always a problem that they were supposed to fix because, well, they have been the ones in battle with their shadow. Man. It is now the mirror flipped back on them, and now they have to address their own negativity. The mirror is not flipped on you and they're going, I need you to fix my negativity. In fact, it's not me who has a problem, it's you. But I need you because I need something from you. What? That's messed up. What you mean? That doesn't make no sense. So now that the mirror is flipped on them, now what's happening to them is, the question to ask is, how do I awaken my soul? How do I awaken my soul? Because this whole time I'm thinking, while I'm projecting to everybody, it's everybody who has a problem, but I'm fine. What do I do now? How do I awaken my soul? I'm going to use this deck. They have been using you to project all of their insecurity, all of their pride and ego that they cannot address on their own. So now that that mirror is flipped on them, because they have nobody around them to fix them anymore, now how do they awaken their soul? Because now what I'm getting here is like, now that the mirror has flipped on them, now they're seeing all of their fears in them. Now they're seeing their own insecurity. Now they're seeing their own ignorance. Now they're seeing their own flaws that they were projecting the whole time onto you. And so this Gemini full moon is addressing the negative just as much as addressing the positive. Coming out of in denial and becoming more aware of your negativity. It's coming out of in denial and becoming more aware of your pain that you have been projecting to everybody else around you. You have used everybody up and abused everybody up. And this whole time you're telling yourself, I'm better than you, and I'm smarter than you, and I'm more powerful than you, and you can't get to me. Well, what if I told you that it wasn't the people around you that were going up against you in the first place? It's you and your shadow that you're going up against. And you've just been projecting all of that pride and insecurity onto people, while you're over here going, I'm better than you. This is a lack of self-identifying your own shadow. And it's rooted deeply in your own shadow. Now it's like we got to get to a point of like, okay, delegating. I don't know if that's the word, and please correct me if I'm wrong. Delegating. Is this making me feel better? Or am I doing this because it makes me look good? Because, well, you know, it makes my reputation look good. But I don't feel good. I'm only really doing this because I want my reputation to look good, and I want everyone to praise me, and, you know, I want everybody to love me and to, you know, tell me that I'm this most amazing person that I am, but inside you're a fraud. You have been manipulating everybody to think however you want them to think about you, so you can have this good reputation. But what you're actually doing is you're driving people away by doing that. You now, with that mirror in front of you, you now being the judge of who you are. You now being the judge of you. And telling yourself, what's wrong with me? It's not, what's wrong with you, and what's wrong with you, and what's wrong with you, and what's wrong with you. And there's something wrong with you, but I'm fine. I'm perfectly fine. So this level of irritation, this level of sensitivity comes from when the perpetrator gets triggered, and the liar gets triggered, the master manipulator gets triggered, and they're going, why do I feel this way? Something's being shaken up. You're having a tower moment. Something is being rattled inside of me. Why do I feel this way? Perhaps that is your shadow being broken. It's like little by little, you now have to address your shadow. And the light is like, it's like a door cracked, and you can see the light seeping through, and it's illuminating your shadow, just like this light that's coming in right now. You know, like you're in the shadow, you've been in the shadow, and you've been so unaware of your own shadow. And that door is like cracked open a little bit, and what is triggering you is that light. Because that light is now illuminating your lies. It's exposing your manipulations. And now you're going, I don't feel well. You don't feel well because this whole time you've been betraying yourself. But this whole time you thought that everybody was betraying you, which is false. Isn't that like the harsh truth, though? This whole time you're thinking, I'm better than you, and I'm smarter than you, and I'm more than you, but you're actually ain't shit. What you've been doing is you've been taking the shortcuts. You've been using everyone. And by using everyone, it makes you feel good. You know, because remember I told you in the last few days I've been trying to make this video, and this is my third attempt. Every time I go back to this topic of like going up against yourself, I keep going back to P. Diddy's case. And it just came up for me again. I was just gonna say it's like Diddy. He knew the artist he was working with, right? They were very pure and innocent, anointed. These were artists that he had seen had potential. But instead used and abused them instead of working with them. he manipulated his way through to these artists, certain situations, and his relationship with Cassie to get something from them, to absorb and to get something from them, to take something from them. And what he's taking from these people is their anointing, their potential, because that makes him powerful, because he isn't so powerful. And he knows that he has to work his way through to get to that type of potential. But instead of doing the work on his own, I'm going to get close to these artists as close as I can. And I'm going to grab what I can and take from them. And nobody will ever know. But it'll make me feel better about myself. It'll make me powerful. And I'll be like the top of the heap. Better than all of them. I'm going to make them think that, you know, if you sign with me and if you work with me, you know, I'll give you this and I'll give you that and you'll gain something from me. But what's happening is the artists aren't actually gaining anything. If anything, they're losing. And they're putting and investing their energy and time into somebody who's only taking from them, but not really actually working with them. You hear what I'm saying? So in this case, Diddy has only been really manipulating his way through these artists and situations in the industry to gain something from people. It doesn't actually mean I'm working with you. I want you to think that I am. But if anything, I'm gaining more from you and you're losing. I'm absorbing you and I'm taking what's yours because he knows these artists are potential. But what he doesn't know is that'll catch up. You see, that has an expiration date. We think that by taking up, using up other resources, other sources would make you even more powerful. Will make you powerful and you'll gain more and you'll be ahead. But in doing so, that has an expiration date. And what you get in return, you'll have to pay for. It's pay up time, it's judgment day. Now karma is being served. And I'm getting like, these people are going, well, I didn't do that and I didn't say that. And now it's like their mind is scrambled. Because no one's reacting to you no more. No one's giving you answers no more. You ain't around people to validate what you think is right when it's not right. So now you're sitting with yourself and you now have to address your own negativity. You now have to address your own shadow for yourself. Because this whole time you've been using people up and abusing people for your own gain. It's not like you be going up to people and being like, hey, I have a proposition. Hear me out. Hey, we can collaborate on this. Hear me out. It's not like you're going up to people and approaching people and you know, giving them a proposition for equal give and take. It's not an equal give and take. It's, hey, what's up? Hear me out. Maybe, you know, we can work together and collaborate on some things. Discreetly planning and plotting. But this isn't, what you're offering isn't an equal give and take. It's a means to get access to somebody. They see potential. so they can take what they can and grab what they can from them. And then using it against them, against you, against them, and against these people. This is in fact somebody operating in their shadow and denying that they're not operating in their shadow. And this is also somebody who's battling and has been battling with their own shadow and has been projecting onto people and going, nothing's wrong with me. Something's wrong with you. When this whole time, what they didn't know is that they have been the one in battle with themselves. I am the problem. You have been the source for me. That's why I've been keeping alive. But the person that the perpetrator has been going up against, they are in fact not only have they been in vindication, okay, maybe even lifted. Ooh, son. I mean, yeah. Three of Cups, the Ace of Coins. You are the source. You've been the source. The perpetrator doesn't like you because you have been the one celebrated. You have been the one being recognized. Perhaps you did something about it. Perhaps you earned it. It's like, you know, and then the perpetrator is going through something. The Tower, the Five of Cups. As the scales even out little by little, what is being removed is the proud, the cunning, the fool, the ignorant. Now, it's like the perpetrator's job is to be their own judge. Now they get to judge themselves. But the real judge here is God. He sees everything. He hears everything. He sees everything. He sees our little motives. He sees our every little thing and every detail. He sees it all. He's the judge of it all. And he wants you to be the judge of you. He wants you to look inside of you because you have not been the greatest to his children. You also have not been nice to yourself. I'm also getting, while I was looking up at the moon and I was having my moment in my room, I was also getting that some of us have been hiding from our intuitiveness. Like, you know you're highly intuitive, but you deny that you're intuitive. And you're seeing everything for what it is, but you're not saying anything. So there's something to that. And I'm going to leave that one to you, whoever I'm speaking to. You have been hiding from your own intuitiveness because you don't want to know that you are intuitive. Either because it's very overwhelming and it's unbearable to even think about, to even feel. To you, it feels heavy and you don't need any more of that. But I'm getting like, this is somebody hiding from their own intuitiveness versus acknowledging it and actually using it. I think in this world that we live in, and this is me, this is just coming from me, okay? Not that it's important, but anybody, because we live in the world that we live in, being intuitive means it makes you crazy and it makes you look crazy to everybody. Having a sharp awareness means that you're weird and you're crazy. But what we don't know is our intuitiveness is actually what is going to save us. But you see what I'm getting here with this Gemini full moon is a lot of us have been hiding from our intuitiveness, and you're seeing things, but you're not saying it. You're not acknowledging it. And even if you're seeing the bad, you're also not talking about it when you should be talking about it. Either you don't want to get involved, it's too much for you, or it's unbearable. But you're seeing it, but you're not saying anything about it. So if you are the one hiding from your own intuition and you're seeing the bad and you're not saying anything, you may want to rethink that. You may want to acknowledge it instead and use it to your advantage and for people's advantage. Coming out of our in denial and becoming more aware. That being aware and being highly aware is not something to be ashamed of. You hear me? They want you to be ashamed of your own intuition because that makes you look crazy. But by using our own intuition means you're just helping. You're just aware. You're aware. You just know how to differentiate and know how to use your discernment between what is good and what is bad. What is common sense and what isn't common sense. We were conditioned to think not to have common sense and not to use our intuition. So you might have grown up in a family where they have kept you from believing your own intuition because it meant that you wouldn't look crazy and your own family wouldn't look at you as crazy. But now what you're doing is you're denying yourself, your true self, and you're hiding from your own self by not admitting that you are highly intuitive. And I'm also getting that I'm speaking to a Gemini. I'm getting that most Geminis are very highly intuitive, but they hide it. And they don't want to acknowledge it. So that came up for me. I would like to end this with a prayer. Father God, thank you for your provision and blessing in our lives. We choose to praise and worship you no matter what the circumstances. We know that we are making a way even when we don't see a way. Help us to stand strong in you so that we may see the harvest of blessings you have prepared for us. We declare that we are coming into our due season in Jesus' name. And thank you for being patient with me. I will see you guys in the next. Take care always. There is this sense of renewal today that I feel, and I hope that you feel that for yourself too after a long journey of being abused, kept hidden, being in victimhood. I pray and I hope that you also find your way out of the victimhood. You know, it's not easy, especially when you're doing it alone. I want to share with you guys something. I was at church, okay, and at church, when you go in, on the right side, they have a table set there, okay, and they have all these pamphlets to give out, and sometimes they'll have like a food drive, they'll have like canned foods, and then they'll have like, the last time I went, there were a lot of like Christmas cards laid out, and you can just pick it, whatever, and it's for you to take home. And I found this bookmark, and it was all alone, just sitting by itself. And I love bookmarks. Now you tell me if it was meant for me to have and take home or not, but I found it. It was the only one sitting right by itself. And this could be for somebody. You love beads, candy, you love rave. I'm getting EDC. You love color. You may even have a very colorful room, but I felt the need to share it. Anyway, I'll see you guys later. Love, peace, and blessings. Take care.